All right, all right, all right. We are live. We are live. What's up, my guy? Right,
No limit soldiers. I thought I told you. What's up? What's up?
right. How you living, man? How's life?
Life is life. I oftentimes say that. Life is life,
Yeah,
man. You gotta roll with it.
gotta roll with it. Gotta roll with it. See the hat is fresh, bro. I see the tag
You
still
see,
on it. You know what I'm
you see what I
saying?
did with the tags on them? You said that. Yeah, no, I only put it on for the show tonight. I only I only
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
on for
yeah.
the show.
Nah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, man. So look, we had an interesting conversation this week or
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, this all stemmed from my one of my family members, my cousin, posted a picture on one of our a comment on one of our previous videos, and she asked, when do you know pretty much when do you know when it's time to actually take that leap of faith, right, and pursue your passion versus just working a job for a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hard decision to make. And when I heard about it, we had just done an episode on, whether or not college was worth it in 2020. So I thought it was the perfect kind of segue into this whole business series, right? Since kind of our major platform is, economic empowerment.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, man. So shout out to my cousin Dolores for submitting a request, and yeah, happy to be talking about it. So hopefully she joins us tonight. I don't know if she's busy or not, but it'd be really cool to have her on to comment. Anyways, so let's have this conversation, man. We had a pretty good conversation. It was you, Bridget, and I, and we kind of spoke about our own individual experiences and kind of our path to entrepreneurship and pursuing our passions and living our purposes. Um, I enjoyed it. If you guys haven't seen it, then make sure you go to YouTube page and search for By Any Means the podcast live, or you can go to www.bandpodlive.com. And just so I don't have to spell it out, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the screen. So I'll leave it there for a couple minutes. Yeah. Go check out the episode. It was really cool. We got some really unique stories about kind of our journey, and it's always interesting to see how different the approaches are that people take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what are some of your major takeaways from the episode? What were some of your major takeaways?
Well, the major takeaway is that one, that we're living in that moment right now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as in to say, you know, it's not cliche. We need our own, and I think we've all benefited from the experiences that we've had from an educational standpoint and a career standpoint. And I think it's time for us to create our own, um,
Yeah.
and be our own. And in that, I don't want to be remiss and not say that not in owning our own and having our own, we need to be responsible to our own. So we need to give back and pay it forward. It's funny. I was having a conversation with one of our classmates from Hampton on Instagram today about the money that was donated from Jeff Bezos's ex-wife, right, to certain HBCUs. And there's two sides to it, right? And
100%.
we like she was delving into it like we do, so it was definitely a good conversation. um,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, we should be mindful about what money we accept and how we use and invest that money. I think we
100%.
got to be careful with how we deal with our business dealings anyway, period. But now that we have the money, what are we going to do with it? So
Yeah.
that goes back to us, because in terms of passion versus paycheck, you know, the major takeaway is that we need to understand ourselves, one, to understand when we are going to actually make that leap of faith
Yeah.
like we discussed, in terms of whether we're going to just be paycheck, or if we're going to do a combination of paycheck and passion, or
Yeah.
if we make that full leap into just passion, or purposeful passion, which actually comes with money. And I've seen a lot of people mention this lately too, in terms of don't chase the money, chase your dreams and your purpose and your passion, because the money will then chase you.
That's the biggest. I think that's the key, man. That's the major key right there. And it's not just about. So yeah, part of it is, don't chase the money, chase your passion, and do something that you're passionate about. You know the old cliche, man. If you do something you love, you never have to work another day in your life, right? That's the old cliche.
Yeah.
But it's not just about that. For me personally, it's about taking pride in who you are as a person, right? I have this saying that I go by. God gave me peace, therefore I walk with poise and parity. When you think about poise, what that means is when I'm at my best, there's no one better than me. That's what poise and parity means to me. God gave me peace, therefore I walk with poise and parity. Like legit, when I'm at my best, when I'm operating at my optimum potential, there might be some folks that are equal, right? Not saying that I'm the best in the world, but at the end of the day, I'm so confident in my ability to do what I do and my ability to learn things that I don't know that it's okay. I can take a back seat. You know what I'm saying? I can learn from somebody who knows more than I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
we talked about that. We talked about
exactly. I can learn from from somebody that I don't know, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? I know what I ultimately want to do. And this particular skill set is going to help me do what I ultimately want to do in life. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I want to do. So I'm so confident that I can walk in a room with anybody and talk about anything. Not that I know everything, because I'm willing to actually listen and understand and try to comprehend the things that they're telling me. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to choosing, how and when to pursue your passion, the first thing you got to do, for me personally, is you got to work on your own confidence, your own self-esteem.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to believe in yourself and your own abilities first before you do anything. And like Bridget said in the last episode, learn on somebody else's dime. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got to make mistakes and lose money in the process, then don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just map it out. If you're passionate about clothes, for example, and being a stylist, go work for a company. I don't care what company it is. Everybody needs marketing. Everybody needs accounting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody needs branding. Everybody needs advertising. Everybody needs a finance department. Everybody needs, you know what I'm saying? Like that marketing, that retail presence, getting in front of people. I don't know if I repeated myself, but at the end of the day, you can learn something from every single position that you're in. So for me, that's where it all starts. It's about having that confidence and knowing that even if you don't know what the heck you want to do with the rest of your life, at the end of the day, I know that there's a skill set that I could be learning right now. So let me try to be the absolute best at whatever this is that I'm forced to do right now for a paycheck, right? So that because when it does come time for me to venture out on my own and pursue my passion, that's one less thing that I got to learn. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where it all starts for me, man. But I want to hear from some of y'all, man. I know we got some folks watching right now. So, if you got some ideas on kind of when to take that leap from doing whatever you're doing for a paycheck and when it's time to actually start to pursue your passion, or heck, if you can, make the those lines cross, right? Maybe you can turn your passion into a paycheck. I mean, I think I said, my mom is passionate about children and she's been working in childcare her entire career. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't love doing it, there's no way she would be able to do it for as long as she did. So, and there's a lot of people who are like that, nurses, doctors, you know what I'm saying? I even knew somebody who wanted to be a dentist their whole life, you know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. If anybody out there has found a way to turn their passion into a paycheck, or is currently making a paycheck, knowing what their passion is going to be, or they don't know, but they know there's a skill set that they want to learn at their job, just kind of let us know, man. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you about it. I'm all for it. What's up, little cuz? What's up, Ashley?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you hit on those points, because I think you encapsulated or summarized essentially, the episode. As I sat and watched it last night with my wife, like I do weekly or whatever. We were definitely looking at it, and though you hit on those points once again. I think again, like we both alluded to, it starts
Mhm.
with oneself. So just understand yourself. That self actualization, self realization, self assessment is vital. It's vital to your life. Life is about the decisions you make. So make a conscious effort and decision to know yourself. Know yourself before you go into your particular career field. Know yourself in as before you go into whatever hobby, because that's essentially what you talked about too. Like, let's say you do start off by going into a specific career field as for a paycheck, as opposed to starting off in your purpose, in terms of your passion, right? Um,
Mhm.
what you need to do is understand it's not good to keep one. I mean, you can do it, but don't keep yet one egg in one basket, right?
Right.
And there's multiple ways to look at that. There are things that you can do outside of your paycheck, in terms of hobbies and experiences that you can gain and learn from that to leverage moving forward and carry forward. And the same thing applies at your work or at your job that in which you get your paycheck. Most businesses, most companies, most jobs have multiple work streams. So there are things and experiences and skill sets that you can build your portfolio with. By even though you're in this one swim lane, you can, I can ear hustle, as people say. Oh, I can pay attention, or I can learn. I can involve myself in those other facets of the business and learn those things, learn those skills, so that I can carry it forward or leverage it to the time where I'm ready to move forward to my purpose and my passion.
Yeah. That's 100%, man. And sorry, man, I got my I got my auntie saying hi to me, so I had to say hi back real quick. I love you, auntie. I love you, auntie. But look, so look, I want to get to you know, user comment, right? So sorry, wrong one. There we go. So when you talk about things like writing a book, right? So I've written a book before, self-published at first, and then went with the publisher who wasn't very good for the second edition of the same book. But I've done that process before. So, at the end of the day, if you're thinking about writing the book, the best advice I can get is just to start writing and don't stop. Start writing and don't stop. If you're passionate about writing, figure out what topic you want to write about and just write and write and write and write. Don't worry about if it makes sense. Okay. You can make it make sense later.
Yep.
Just put it all on paper. Start writing. Don't stop until you get like think about those old composition books, with the little black and white
Yeah,
squiggly
yeah,
things on it
yeah.
or whatever it's called, the little clouds or whatever you want to call them. Like until you filled up, probably if you are like a pen and paper writer, right? Try to get like 3 or 4 of those out of the way before you even think about trying to make it make sense and put it into a story, right? Because that's my method. A lot of people will say, draw out a diagram, plan out, what you want to say, and then just kind of make the story line up A, B, C, D, E, beginning, middle, and end, that kind of process. But for me, it's a little bit different. You see, my book came from poetry. I wrote all kinds of poems. I probably had like 20 different poems, and none of them were intended to be related in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But one day I was reminiscing a little bit and I went and started reading all of those poems. And I was like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. If I put this one here and this one here and this one right here, this thing kind of starts to tell a story.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Biggie.
And say that again.
Okay, Biggie. I got a story.
Go ahead, man. Listen up, I got a story to tell. No, so yeah, man, I just started arranging the poems in a certain manner and it kind of told a story. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's a nice little outline that I got there. Let me start filling in the blanks. You know what I mean? So you don't always have to start out with a diagram, beginning, middle, and end. What's most important is that you just start telling interesting, entertaining stories and be honest with yourself. If you start writing some stuff down and it doesn't make any sense to you or is boring, then people who read it probably aren't going to like it either. So be honest with yourself. Just start writing it, write everything down. Try to make it as entertaining as possible. And as long as you are passionate about it and that passion comes through in your writing, I guarantee you'll be able to put it in a certain order and it'll make sense. And then all you'll need to do is fill in the gaps and make it make sense, right? Just make the story whole, and you'll come out with a book at the end. From there, go to Kindle Direct Publishing.com. You can self-publish your own book. You'll have to design the cover from beginning to the end. But look, reach out to me. I got a special announcement in a couple of minutes. Just so you know. So any African-American person watching right now who's remotely interested in starting a business, who needs some help with branding and marketing and advertising and commercials and all that type of stuff, graphic design, stay tuned because I got a special announcement for you. But yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. If you want to write a book, just start writing and don't stop until you feel like you've got everything off your chest, and then you can go back and put it into story form and make it make sense. And if you need some help, definitely reach out to me. If you're family, you got my number, but if you're, don't have my phone number, then just reach out to, my IG handle is right there. Just reach out to me. I'll be happy to speak with you about it. So just wanted to go ahead and say a little bit about that. Again, we take user comments seriously. We try to respond to as many as possible. So, if you guys have any questions or any input on how to turn your passion into a paycheck, then speak your piece. We want to hear from you. Okay. There's a lot of people, and there's no wrong way to do it. At the end of the day, to each their own. I just so happen to be out of the frying pan into the fire kind of guy. So I take risks. When my back is against the wall, that's when I perform the best. Like, and it's been proven over and over again. I remember freshman year history class, there were 2 essays due. One was at the beginning of the semester. The other one is at the end of the semester. At the beginning of the semester, I tried to do the studious thing. I tried to do my essay like 2 months in advance, just to get started. Wound up getting a C- on the daggone thing. The final essay was like 5-page single space Times New Roman 12 point. Like, he was very specific. Mm-hmm. And I did it the night before it was due and got a daggone A-. I don't understand why I am the way I am, but I'm very much out of the frying pan into the fire kind of guy. But that might not work for everybody. So if there's any other methods for getting from just working for a paycheck to being working within your passion and getting paid for it, let me know. I want to know, because inquiring minds want to know, guys. What do you think, Derek? I mean, what are some other methods? What were some of the other takeaways from the episode that's available now at www.bandpodlive.com? And if you don't know what I say, look at the bottom of the screen. It's scrolling. That's the website. You can go view it right there. What were some of the takeaways for you, man? What other takeaways you got from me? Or new insights, man. At the end of the day, it's not just about what we talked about on that episode. Anything new that came to mind?
So what resonates again is the fear factor and risk management. Yeah. So we discussed in the episode, and if anybody that's watching watch the episode, please provide your feedback. We'd love to hear it. We value your add value and your opinion and your perspective. But yeah, when we discuss fear and risk, that was important, because outside of knowing yourself to gauge when it's appropriate for you to jump out there in terms of straight to your passion versus your paycheck, or a combination of the two, I think it's important to understand fear. And what I mean by understand fear is know that fear is not always real. And you can go beyond fear. So it was one thing we also talked about, not only in this episode, but in other episodes, about validation. I've seen some memes in terms of on social media about like, just bro or sis, just go start the business. You can fix it later. So right. I mean, that's something to think about, because a lot of times we focus on fear. Oh, and another thing we talk about, not just fear and risk, but also responsibility, right? Mm-hmm. Responsibility could be to your family, to your parents. It could be to yourself. It could be to your children. So that's also important. But again, know yourself. But outside of the fear and pushing past the fear and the risk management, just jump out there. Jump out on faith. Know that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you.
Right.
But also know, and we talked about self-confidence, believing in yourself. So
Right.
when you believe in yourself, you come to a point at some point where you realize and acknowledge that you don't need other validation. Now, that's in terms of work. That's not in terms of your business. You don't necessarily need validation from others, but you do need support of others for your business or for your service, your product or service, right? Because that's a part of branding and marketing. You want people to know your story and know your brand, right? Go ahead. Something hit there. Go.
You just said a word, brother. Okay, so here's the thing: validation. Validation. That is what drives 99% of people's fear.
Yeah.
They're seeking validation from the people around them, the people who they know and who they love and trust the most. When we know firsthand, it ain't the people who know you that's going to wind up supporting you in business.
Hold up.
It's not. It ain't.
Hey, say that again.
It is the people who know you and trust you and love you. They're not going to be the ones that support you. It's the strangers, the people who don't know you, the people who are just now getting to know you. You're introducing yourself to them, right? You're establishing your reputation with them. They're getting to know your personality. Those are the people that's going to support you. Yet, what is scaring people off from starting their business or doing whatever their creative desire is or pursuing their passion, what's stopping them is they want to be accepted by the people around them. They want to be validated by the people around them. They're not going to validate you anyway. Look, don't take my word for it. Go read books. Look, I watch a whole lot of Shark Tank, okay? I watch a whole lot of Shark Tank. Barbara Corcoran's book, Mark Cuban's book. I've read two of Damon John's book at this point. Go read The Power of Broke. Damon John, The Power of Broke. I'm telling you, go read The Power of Broke. Everybody, even the sharks, the investment gurus, they are the ones who say it ain't the people around you that's going to wind up supporting you and what you're trying to do. And you can't be mad at them. They know you. They're used to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're immune to what you're trying to do. And they're not going to be the ones that support you. And then you can't hate them for it. You can't judge them for it. At the end of the day, they're just being human. You know what I'm saying? So still love them, on them, hug them, kiss them, say what's up whenever you see them, all of that. Show them all the love that they deserve because, you know, they'll back you up eventually. But at the end of the day, when you're first starting out, it's going to be the complete strangers that back you. So remember that and don't take it personally. Do not take it personally because it's going to stop you from living your true purpose and being happy, right? In life. And at the end of the day, time is finite. You only got a certain number of days on this planet. You need to be trying to make sure that you're living stress-free and you're living your life to the fullest. All right. Don't just go living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's paying the bills, you're not living to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole life to live, man. Pursue your passion. Figure it out. If you're out of the frying pan, the fire kind of person, then do that. If you're not and you're more strategic and you want to, not saying that it's not strategic to be out of the frying pan into the fire, but if you're more of a slow roll, let me replace this income gradually, eventually, then do that. Just understand that it's going to take a whole lot of grind. You're going to have to really dig deep and make that happen because you're really working 2 full-time jobs, right?
That third shift.
You know what I'm saying? Either life and your friends and everybody else are going to be relegated to that third shift, or your business aspirations and your passion is going to be relegated to that third shift, right? So you got to decide which one you want to do and just pursue it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and you know what stood out to that, and thanks for sharing that, Kelvin. No, what stood out to me as well is I didn't think about this while we were shooting or recording the actual episode, in terms of working the third shift, passion versus paycheck. Please view us on YouTube and also www.bandpodlive.com. Scrolling at the bottom, you see it scrolling at the bottom. But no, what resonated and what came back to my mind is in memory is that one of my big brothers, not gonna say the name, but he has always spoken life into me, right? Whether it was in terms of the career, Kappa, church, or otherwise, and in terms of entrepreneurship. So one thing that stands out is he also mentioned this, and this is debatable, but I understand it. And we do too, Kelvin, because we just worked on this on one of our business aspirations and that we're building.
Yeah.
But that niche, finding that one niche, that one thing to focus on, because a lot of us, we're multi-talented, right? But just because you're multi-talented doesn't mean you should jump out on faith to that passion amongst it all. What's that one thing that you want to focus on as your niche to start out with? And then you can branch out, because now you've gotten beyond the naysayers of your family and your friends and your inner circle, right? And now you reach those external folks that are actually going to support your business, service, product, right? And it's based on that one focus. Because honestly, it's hard to focus on multiple things. Like you just actually this too. Like if you're working a third shift, it's really difficult. Like myself right now, in terms of working my career, all the hats that I wear, family, dad, coach, all this other stuff, right? And in terms of trying to build businesses from the ground up, build a podcast in a nation surrounded by any means necessary. No, that takes a lot of grind. You just spoke to that, Kelvin. It takes a lot of energy, effort, grind, resources, and it's hard to focus on all of those. Focus on that one.
Yeah. That's important, man. One thing at a time. And one thing I've learned throughout my career, I've literally done a ton of jobs. I was going to say something that could have been deemed racist, so I'm not going to do that. I was going to say I work like a fill in the blank, but I'm not going to do that. Right? But one thing I learned, one of the benefits to working in so many different industries and so many different functions is that you start to learn how things kind of work together. It can be hard to really understand what another department does, right? To a certain degree. If all you're doing is one specific thing for a very long time. And corporate America is quick to try to box you in, man. That's why I moved around so much. You know what I'm saying? I moved around so much because they'll try to box you in and get you really good at this and promise you all kinds of things, and might even pad your pockets a little bit. But if you have larger aspirations and goals, it's going to be kind of hard to move around a little bit. Knowing that they value, if you do want to climb the corporate ladder, the more experience you have in different functions, the better and more attractive you are as a candidate. You know what I'm saying? So to try to box you into a certain thing because you're really good at it, and if losing you from doing that one thing means that they have to retrain and rehire somebody else, like it sounds like they make it sound like, oh no, you can go anywhere you want. You know what I'm saying? And do anything you want to do as long as you're doing your job right. But at the end of the day, if you're too good at what you do, they're not trying to move you, bro. And, you know what I'm saying? Which is why, I bounced around a little bit in corporate America. But, I went to different industries, went to different companies. By any means, Kelvin was going to know what I needed to know in order to run a large enterprise. And I got that experience by moving around and going to different companies and doing exactly what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And then now at this point, and it goes back to the whole passion versus paycheck conversation, right? I earned that paycheck. I did what I did, understanding that my passion was to create opportunities for others. You know what I'm saying? And I was going to figure out a business model that allowed me to create opportunities for as many people as possible. And now I've made it my personal mission with, you're helping, with our other partner, right? Um, um, to build as many millionaires as I possibly can, right? Building wealth for people who can't afford to do it themselves. That is my life mission. And I guarantee, by any means, I'm going to make it happen. And I
Right.
wouldn't be in that position and be so confident in the plan that we have in place if I didn't have all that different experience, if I didn't earn that paycheck so that I could transition into fulfilling my purpose, which is what I'm also passionate about, right? So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you got to go through what you got to go through. You got to be in your situation and try to be the absolute best at what you do, no matter what you're doing, right? Because you never know when that's going to come back to help you in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody out there that's watching, man, like I said, if you guys have any tips on how people can kind of transition from paycheck to passion, feel free to share it. We love to discuss it, maybe even bring you on, you know what I'm saying? Put you on the spot. But yeah, man, don't be ashamed of anything that you're doing right now. Look, I went from managing bank branches at Wells Fargo to, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to say their name. Anyways, I went from managing bank branches at Wells Fargo to to being a bartender, you know what I'm saying, at a restaurant on purpose. You know what I'm saying? For a reason. Like that was my whole goal at the time. I was heavy into acting. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was gonna be the next Forrest Whitaker. I can't be Denzel because I ain't cute enough, but I'll be the next Forrest Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was gonna be the next Forrest Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, I became a bartender so I could interact with people and people watch and understand mannerisms, right? The way they talk, the way they interact with one another. You know what I'm saying? How to be nice and strike up a conversation with anybody about anything. That's what I went and I did that for. And now I find myself using those same tactics when I'm networking, you know what I'm saying? Or when I'm pitching to an investor, finding ways to relate to people, creating conversation out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? As if my tip depends on it. So I'm approaching conversations with folks like that. And, it's different skill sets that I've picked up along the way that have helped get me to this point. So don't be ashamed of anything that you're doing. I don't care if you're a postal worker walking around in the heat, sweating, doing what you're doing. Just be the absolute best at it, but have a goal in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like have a plan in place. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pontificate, but but go ahead, man. Chime in.
Come on, man, with big words, pontificate. Come on, man. Hey,
You
no.
went to Hampton too, chill.
No, but I hope people don't take this the wrong way, what I'm about to say, but essentially the way that I sum that up as well, the episode and what you just articulated is the fact that it behooves each and every one of us to take advantage of the situations that we're in, to use the situations that we're in. Now, please understand me. I'm not saying don't be real and authentic. Being your true self and real and authentic is very important. That's what's going to sell the most, sell yourself and sell your product, service, or business. However, if you are involving yourself in different experiences with people, with opportunities, you should gain from each and every one of those to leverage moving forward. So that's what I mean by using those experiences to carry forward, to grow your portfolio, grow your skill set so that you can leverage those things and carry them forward, moving forward into the rest of your life, really, because I don't want to just put it to career, because it's not necessarily career.
Yeah.
Your passion isn't necessarily your career. Can it be? Yes, but it's your life. It's your lifestyle. It's who you are. And once you understand yourself and then putting yourself into your passion or your paycheck, that's when you skyrocket. But just know, if you work for somebody, they're using you. So why not use them? And I'm being real. I am not saying don't be authentic and don't be yourself. Be real, true, and authentic. But at the same time, know that they're using you for your skills. So take the skills and the knowledge learned from them to move forward.
Hey man, I could have said it better myself. I could have said it better myself. Think about it, man. You know how much why would they, if I don't care what you make, you could be making $80,000, $90,000 a year. Do you think that company is paying you $90,000 a year if they're not getting a solid return on their investment?
Oh, they getting more than $90,000.
Exactly. That's my point. Like they probably, like, your revenue, like, you're probably responsible for at least twice your salary in revenue. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, get what you need to get from them. You know what I'm saying? Use them. They're using you. Use them.
Yeah.
Use them, and not in a bad way. Be authentic to who you are, right? Never change. Like I always said, man, I'm always myself. I might use a different part of my vernacular. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who my audience is, right? Like, I'm not going to speak to my family or my friends the same way I speak to my, an investor or my boss. You know what I'm saying? In a certain situation, well, when I had one, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to speak to them in the same kind of manner in a professional setting as I would if I'm just at home chilling, like with the homies or whatever. So, I might use a different piece of my vernacular, but at the end of the day, I'm still me. I'm still going to say exactly what I want to say when I want to say it. You're going to know who I am. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? You're going to know what I feel, point blank, period. Like it is what it is. You either like it or you don't. Like, it's really just that simple. But, so it's not like you're selling out or being different or trying to talk white, you know what I'm saying? We got to get rid of that in our community, man. It's just adjusting what you're saying so that your audience can understand it, so I get it. I feel like we might have to talk about that one, man.
They call that code switching. Yeah,
code switching. Yeah, look, I don't call it code switching. I call it, look, I need to be able to communicate what I'm trying to express to you right now. And if I start saying joke, joint, and young, and mo, and kill, and all this other stuff, if you're not gonna understand what I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Your audience.
Like, if I start saying all of that type of stuff and you can't understand what I'm trying to say to you, then what exactly am I trying to accomplish? Like, we all got a agenda at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So, some people call it code switching, but I call it communicating effectively.
Yeah. I mean, I think I mentioned code switching and we're talking about communicating effectively, but it's funny because I literally remember, in terms of authenticity, right? Let me just take a step back, because this ties back to education and family and socialization and your adolescence growing into yourself, right? Like, I remember my aunt, who was a teacher, sometimes telling myself and my cousins, like, hey man, y'all got to stop with all this slang, because you're not going to be able to flip it when you're getting into those situations at school or work. And that didn't really, I got it, I understood her point, and this is what I'm talking about, Kevin. Like, there's two sides to this, right? Like, whether we talk about code switching or talking white or communicating effectively, there's two sides. There's one side that says, okay, it's valuable to be able to communicate differently, right? In terms of understanding, communication has a sender and a receiver, and you got to make sure that you can articulate yourself or communicate effectively in terms of that. I see Kimberly said, I hate the phrase talking white. It's talking educated. Oh, talking educated.
Hey, I like it though.
What up, Tim? No. But it's funny because on the flip side of that, I had family members that were telling me, you need to be careful with all that rap music and slang and stuff like that, because you're not going to be able to fulfill your lexicon or your vocabulary to the point that you'll be able to articulate yourself and communicate effectively in terms of education and work. But I come to tell you, and you can attest to this, Kelvin, no, coming from where we come from, different places, but coming from where we come from, we're able to speak with the best of them in both worlds. And I
100%.
think there's value in doing that.
100%, man. And you know, it's one of those things where I mean, it goes into everything, right? It goes into the music you listen to. You know, some people are like, yeah, you can't listen to that kind of music because, you know, subconsciously you're taking it in and it's becoming a part of who you are, and you know, it's polluting your insides. And look, for me, entertainment is entertainment. I can literally listen to anything. Right. The same skill set that I use when listening to music and blocking certain things out and listening to it for the sake of entertainment and not for the sake of like influencing my personality or behavior is the same way I listen in these corporate environments when they're saying things that clearly aren't relevant to me or my community, yet there's something that I need to know and I need to figure out so that I can do what I need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ultimately, right? So I'm still using that exact same skill set, right? Like I'm listening for what I need to learn in a corporate environment. When I'm listening to music, I'm getting that feeling, that bop, that whatever mood I'm in, whether I'm listening to 90s R&B or today, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm listening to Al Green and Marvin Gaye, you know what I'm saying? Like Sam Cooke, like whatever I'm listening to, I'm in that mood right there. And that's what specifically what I'm listening for. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what I'm gonna pull from it. All the other stuff that they put in there it doesn't mean anything to me. Right. So just to kind of make sure I tie it back into what we're talking about today, passion versus paycheck.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. Don't feel like you're muddying your life by doing something that you're not passionate about. There's a skill set. You're in that position for a reason. Learn that skill set, right? And try to be the best at what you're doing. More importantly, the biggest piece, right? The biggest reason is a lot of those people that you're working with will probably end up being like, if you begin your own company, there's a good chance that they'll wind up being your customers. Remember, they're not going to support you in the beginning, but then after you make it, right? After you make it, you know what I'm saying? Those people can do one of two things. They can vouch for you and say, oh yeah, I used to work with that person, and you know, he or she was like the coolest person ever. You know what I'm saying? And that can be a great source of recommendations for you, right? Like they can help boost you up. Oh yeah, I know them. That's my homie. That's my, you know what I mean? What blase. Or they can come out and say, oh, that person was a a-hole. They did this, that, and the third. Look at this picture from them from, you know, everybody got that one picture from elementary school that you wish they would just like delete forever. Like there's one picture I can think about. I don't know if I was in my football uniform or not, but I actually had hair and the hair was all beady and it was like I had 1,000 braids in my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, can you just delete that picture, please? I just don't want it. But you know, if you that type of person, they're gonna find that picture, throw it out there in the age of the internet, and you can wind up causing a whole lot of headache for yourself. So more importantly, you know, when you at them stages, man, you're establishing your reputation. You know what I'm saying? Your brand at the end of the day. Your reputation is your brand. So start establishing your brand before you even start your business, right? How you talk to people, how you interact with them, all of that. So yeah, anything else before I make my special announcement, man? We gotta get out of here. We've been on here.
You know, again, I think I just want to reiterate, start by knowing yourself. That self-assessment, self-actualization, understanding yourself is really important in terms of before you do anything, before you become relational and work for a paycheck. create that relationship for your passion and your purpose, and for any other relationship that you have in life, because humans are relational. So before you do anything, know yourself. And hey, make it happen. Look, trust and believe in yourself and make it happen at the right time that you want to make that to happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, know yourself. Make that leap when it's time for you to make that leap. You know what I'm saying? If you're spiritual, then you know, lean on God or Allah or whatever you believe in, the universe, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Lean on that. If you're not, then just kind of go with your gut feeling. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And let that kind of dictate when you make that leap. Um, Listen, I'm a big believer in putting your money where your mouth is, right? So
Uh-oh.
here's what I got for folks. Here's
Uh-oh.
what I got for folks. In this case, my time is extremely valuable. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't got much of it. I do not have a lot of time right now. I got a whole family, I got a whole business, working on another business. But regardless, this week's episode is working the third shift, passion versus paycheck. Next week's episode is black owned business. See, this is why I don't buy black, right? So make sure you guys come back next week and watch next week's episode because it's not what you think. And here's the proof, and the proof is in the pudding, right? The
Uh-oh.
proof is what I'm about to say. Listen, if you are a African American person who is looking to start your own business, you're looking to turn your passion, your hobby into a business, and you're trying to figure out how to make it happen, or you're ready to make that leap, and you want to get started but don't necessarily know how to begin, reach out to me because I want to help you brand yourself. I want to help you think through your logo, your website, your commercials, your social media content. If it's a podcast, your book, the storyline, the cover art, whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever your passion or your hobby is, you're going to need to brand yourself well. So reach out to me. I'm not going to ask you for a dime. You understand me? I'm not asking you for a dime. I just want to help you out. I want to help you get started. I love black owned business. I love my black people. I love my people. I'm sorry, I love all people. But right now, I want to help us out, right? So if you need help with branding, marketing, graphic design, commercials, um, anything, photos, photography, anything, let me know. I got you. I'm not asking for a dime. If you want to donate something, donate based on the quality of work that you receive. However, I just want to help you win. All right. So reach out to me within the next, what's today?
Wednesday the
Wednesday the 29th.
29th.
Bet. Okay. We'll be live again next Wednesday, the 5th, August 5th. So reach out to me by August 5th. Everybody who reaches out to me by August 5th, I'm just doing work just off of my love for the culture and wanting to see you guys win. So it is what it is. The opportunity is out there. Take it or leave it. You can take the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It is
That's
what it
true.
is.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I got a lot that I can offer you, and I'm willing to do it for free. You know, so reach out. My IG handle is right there. You can also reach me at Homegrown Production. I'm sorry, hgpstudios.com, or you can email me at info@hgpstudios.com, or just DM me on Facebook. Don't matter. However you want to get in touch, reach out. I got some work to do, and trust me, I'm pretty good at what I do. And if I ain't, you ain't got to pay for it anyway. So just don't use it. It's fine. All right, but this is it, man. This has been another episode of By Any Means.
By any means, baby.
Hey, by any means, baby. By any means, live. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for the interaction. We love and appreciate you. We'll be back on Friday with a promo. We got full episode coming out on Monday. Again, that is Black-owned business. See, this is why I don't buy black. You said it before. Come on, you said it before, not you did. I'm talking to the viewer. Y'all said it before. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna talk about it. Okay, come and check us out on Monday. All right, and see you back here live on Wednesday, and hopefully I'll have a great report. Hopefully I'll have a bunch of people reaching out to me saying, "Hey, Kel, when you got time to help me start my business, because I need some help and I want to go now, and I want to help." And I don't need no money for it. So it is what it is. All right, folks, have a wonderful night. See you when I see you. By any means.
By any means.
AndPodLive.com. Peace.
Yeah.